In the Kofax Capture administration program, on the Batch tab on the left side of the window, right-click on the desired batch class and select Properties. Then click on the Queues tab. In the list of available queues, click on Validation Lite, and then click the Add button. Validation Lite should appear between the Scan and Release queues. Click OK. Continuing in the Kofax Capture administration program, expand the contents of the desired batch class to display the document class. Right-click on it and select Release Scripts. In the list of available release scripts, click on Intellidact Release and then Add. The setup window should appear immediately as shown. If you're familiar with release scripts, you'll find that the Intellidact version is an expansion of the Capture database scripts supplied by Kofax. In this video, we are not going to review every possible field, only enough to get you started with a simple example. On the Database tab, click the Enable Intellidact Lite checkbox. The database fields underneath are grayed out. At this time, do not check the Enable Data Output checkbox unless you're an advanced Kofax user and already have a database set up to contain metadata. On the Table Settings tab, the top section will be grayed out as a result of not enabling data output on the previous tab. In the bottom section, uncheck the Enable Multiple Table Release checkbox. On the Document Storage tab, click the Release Image Files checkbox. Click the Browse button and select the path where you would like your images to be stored. In this case, we are going to this folder. Leave the other checkboxes unchecked. On the Image Format tab, set the image file type to multi-page TIFF, meaning that each TIFF file saved represents a document of one or more image pages. Alternatives are single-page TIFFs or JPEGs. The image file name prefix and suffix fields allow you to customize the names of the output files so that they can be distinguished from the original scanned images. For example, we can set the suffix to _R so that every released file has _R appended to its file name. On the Redaction Settings tab, click the Enable Redacted Output checkbox. There are 3 radio buttons shown. For now, select the Everything radio button, meaning that all scanned images will be released, including the redacted versions, if any. Note that all of these images are released to the same folder using the prefix and/or suffix naming convention. Once you become more familiar with Intellidact Lite, you may want to configure multiple release scripts so that unredacted images are stored in one location and redacted versions elsewhere using different file naming conventions. Simply choose the appropriate options to achieve the desired result. When you are finished, click OK and then close. Continuing in the Kofax Capture administration program, right-click on the desired batch class and select Publish. The batch class should be highlighted, then click the Publish button. When the publication is successful, click Close. This completes the server installation of Intellidact Lite. If you only intend to use Intellidact Lite within Kofax Batch Manager on the server, you can fast forward past Alternative A and Alternative B, which follow. To run network clients, you must share the directory where Intellidact Lite is installed on the Kofax server. By default, this directory is at C, Program Files, CSI, Intellidact, Validation Lite, in Windows Explorer, right-click on the directory, select Sharing and Security, which I've already done. Share the folder. By default, it will share as Validation Lite. Go to Permissions. Set the permissions to everyone, full control. Say OK. OK. And note that the hand under the folder indicates that it's a network share. On a client workstation, run the Intellidact Lite client installation by executing a file called setup.hta on the network share. And here it is. All this does is create a shortcut on your workstation desktop, which then points to the program executable on the server. To run a full install of the Intellidact Lite validation program on a standalone machine, locate the Validation Lite 4.msi file that you downloaded from CSI. This is the same program you installed on the Kofax server way back in step 1 of this video. This time it's even easier. Simply execute the MSI file and follow the prompts until the end. Any place you run Intellidact Lite for the first time, whether on the Kofax server, as a network share, or as a standalone application, you'll be prompted for a license key. You must obtain this key from a CSI representative. It cannot be automatically generated since it is dependent on the Kofax Capture serial number. The same Intellidact Lite license key can be used everywhere at your site for unlimited users and unlimited images. For example, we've already prepared an Intellidact Lite license key for this installation and stored it on the desktop. We're just going to copy it. Now let's launch Intellidact Validation Lite. And paste in the activation key. Note that the message itself shows your Kofax Capture serial number. If you don't have this already and haven't reported it to CSI, you can get it from this error message, or you can actually go to the Kofax Capture license utility that's on the server. Let's just say OK. And now we're into Validation Lite, and we'll just open a batch. This concludes the installation and configuration video for Intellidact Validation Lite. Please see our other videos on how to create redactions using this program and observe the process from scan to release.